Hello dear viewer, we welcome you to the Power Circuit. It is proudly brought to you by the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, to give you updates and scorecards in the Nigerian power sector. I am Amara Agugesi and I'm leading you through the reports lined up for today. The report starts with a press briefing by the Minister of Power, Chief Adebayo Adelabu, about the federal government of Nigeria's commitment to improving power sector indices. This edition highlights the completed power transformer projects across transmission substations in 2024. Vandalism of transmission assets surges as over 18 towers affected so far this year. In the interview segment, you will be hearing from the General Manager, Health, Safety and Environment at TCN, Engineer Ahmed Rufai Ibrahim, about how his team promotes health and safety practices for the company's staff members and all stakeholders while leading campaigns against vandalism and encroachment of the right of way of power transmission assets nationwide. Here we go with the reports. The Minister of Power, Chief Adebayo Adelabu, has reiterated the federal government's commitment to improving all power sector indices. The minister stated this during a press briefing after he commissioned a 110 MVA power transformer at the 132-33 kV Isolo transmission substation in Lagos State.
Addressing the press, the minister said although the power sector has not reached its full heights, a significant progress has been recorded.
We know we're not yet where we are going to, but you also agree with me that we have witnessed very good improvement, visible improvement, both in generation, as we recorded over 30% growth in energy generated in 2024 compared to previous year.
In 2024 scorecard, Chief Adelabu stated that despite the issues of vandalism and other challenges faced by Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, the company has pushed to improve power transmission by adding more equipment and transmission lines.
We have seen an improvement in the transmission of powers, the midstream, albeit a few collapses we witnessed during the 2024 year. And 5 collapses due mainly to generation shortfall and vandalization. Despite that, we can say that transmission has really achieved a lot across the net of the country. We have improved access, we have improved reliability, and we have also added some new equipment in terms of hundreds of transformers have been added. We have replaced a number of transmission lines. The destroyed powers, a lot of them have been replaced by 99.5%, sort of the Aduna line, which is undergoing revamping and repair.
The Power Minister further noted significant improvement in the distribution of electricity to end users.
So, distribution end, we also agree with me that we experience a more stable power supply in the country compared to previous years. Even though we still have pockets of disruptions which we are working with. What I'm telling you is that we will not relent that we are able to get to our destination, which is to get our electrification penetration increased up to 75-80%, and also ensure reliability of supply to the urban semi-urban centers, while the rural dwellers also be migrated to under energy access.
On how to increase the capacity of the national grid from 5,000 megawatts, the minister said there is a core plan that is being implemented to attain that and improve electricity supply services.
We don't want to dwell too much on the mistakes or inactions in the past. What we bothered about is how do we reverse this opportunity. And the mistakes of over 50 years, the inactions of over 50 years cannot be reversed in 1 year. We can only try. And we have a plan to ensure that we reverse the consequences for the good of Nigerians. If you look at what has been happening in the industry, in the sector in the last 18 months, you see that there has been significant improvement in all the segments. I just mentioned it in generation, in transmission, in distribution. Today, we guarantee 20-24 hours of power supply to banded customers. Which government has ever done that? Then we are sure of 20 hours of supply. And 90% of banded customers are best students. Everybody cannot be turned around overnight. We keep migrating the customers into this bandit. And with time, you see that the majority of Nigerians will enjoy the services of the customers and they will to pay for it. At the end of the day, you find out that it's even cheaper. It's more economical for them than to buy diesel, to buy petrol, to service generators, once they can actually rely on this supply. So that is what we are trying to do. And this going will not relent until we are able to achieve this.
During the year 2024, the Transmission Company of Nigeria TCN installed, energized and commissioned scores of power transformers across its transmission substations. We are highlighting these completed projects and the impact they have made on the national electricity grid.
The transformer projects are integral to TCN's reinforcement and rehabilitation efforts aimed at enhancing the capacity of power transmission substations. This enables substations to supply more bulk electricity to distribution companies' load centers across the country. The power transformer projects carried out in 2024 have outstanding results on the grid, with a resulting increase in the company's wheeling capacity.
The Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, transmits bulk electricity from power generating companies, GenCos, distribution load centers of distribution companies, DISCOs, nationwide. At TCN, we transport bulk electricity at very high voltage to DISCOs, who now off-take it and distributes it directly to electricity customers nationwide. TCN does not generate electricity. We transport the quantum of power generated to distribution load centers. TCN does not distribute electricity directly to electricity consumers. Our job stops where that of the DISCOs begin. TCN, transmitting bulk electricity in the most efficient and effective manner.
The Transmission Company of Nigeria TCN has reported a surge in the vandalism of power transmission assets this year. Over 18 transmission towers have been vandalized between 9th and 14th of January 2025 across Rivers, Abia and Kano states.
Giving an account of the incident in Rivers State, the General Manager Transmission at the Port Harcourt region of TCN, Engineer Emmanuel Akpa, said routine patrols by linesmen on January 10, 2025 uncovered damage to towers 171 through 181 and tower 184 along the Owerri-Ahoda 132 kV transmission line in Rivers State. On January 14th, vandals targeted towers 146, 147 and 149 on the same line route, removing base brackets and compromising the stability of the towers. In Abia State, the head of TCN Lines Department for the Port Harcourt region, Engineer Azu Lucky, reported the theft of bolts, nuts and structural members from towers 160 and 162 on the Aloji Umuahia 132 kV transmission line, which was under repair on January 13, 2025. Meanwhile, in Kano, towers 105, 106 and 107 along the Katsina, Gazowa 132 33 kV transmission line were critically damaged by vandals on January 9, 2025, compromising their structural integrity and risking collapse. The latest of such incidents occurred in early hours of January 17, 2025, when the TCN engineers discovered the vandalized 132 kV underground transmission cables near Millennium Park in Abuja. This affected power supply to the central area and its environs before TCN managed the situation and restored power supply to the affected areas. These incidents pose a significant challenge to the operation of TCN, although its management has boosted security measures, increased lines patrol, and engaged more vigilante groups while improving collaborations with security operatives. TCN, however, appeals to the general public and Nigerians for more support, particularly those in communities hosting power transmission installations. Nigerians must collectively recognize that the transmission network is our collective asset and essential to our socio-economic development. The vandals and those who buy stolen materials are sabotaging the nation. All hands must be on deck to ensure the growth of the nation's power sector, which is critical to the development of our country. This is a clarion call for everyone to join forces with TCN to put an end to this menace and safeguard our electricity network.
Just after these timeouts, the interview segment begins. This is the Power Circuit. Please stay put.
Oh my God, what caused this fire? Eh? Hey, God help us. Assuming this thing happened in the night, nobody from this building would have come out alive.
Madam, hey, this is why we have warned landlords not to erect structures under the high voltage lines. If this high voltage line fell on the ground, nothing would have happened. But because this structure has been wrongly erected and the high voltage line fell on it, that is why whatever has happened has happened. We advise landlords to always consult the Transmission Company of Nigeria on their safety compliance on the right of way, so that something like this does not happen again.
Oga, we are talking of burnt house and you are talking of right of way. What is right of way and safety compliance?
Safety compliance simply means before erecting any structure around any electricity tower or line, there are safety distances you must adhere to. These safety distances are 25 meters on both sides of the electric tower in the case of a 330 kV, 15 meters on both sides of the electric tower in the case of a 132 kV, and 7.5 meters on both sides of the electric tower in the case of a 33/11 kV. These stipulated safety distance instructions are what we call right of way. If these simple, basic safety distances are adhered to, trust me, there will be less loss of property and lives resulting from cut transmission lines.
Visit Transmission Company of Nigeria office nearest to you for your safety regulations before erecting structures. Let us save lives and properties and build a stronger Nigeria. This message is from the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, transmitting electricity in the most efficient and effective manner.
The management of the Transmission Company of Nigeria TCN has continued to work hard to promote health and safety practices for its staff members and all stakeholders. The company also strives to ensure that safety around its power transmission assets is always guaranteed. This is why it engages in various campaigns against vandalism and encroachment on the rights of way of power transmission assets nationwide. In this interview, the General Manager, Health, Safety and Environment, Engineer Ahmed Rufai Ibrahim, speaks more about what he and his team do. What is the role of your department at TCN?
Our department is responsible for ensuring a safe working environment for all employees, contractors, and also the public. We develop and implement policies, guidelines, and procedures to manage health, safety, and environmental risks effectively. And our focus includes compliance with the regulations, capacity building through training, conducting risk assessments, incident investigation, and promoting a strong safety culture across the organization.
Does TCN have enough capacity to handle safety issues given its enormous coverage area?
Yes, TCN has enough capacity because TCN has a framework which promotes health and safety within the workplace. We recruit and deploy qualified personnel, and we give them the requisite training so that they can attend to all safety challenges within our vast organization. We do consistently carry out safety audits to assess the state of our infrastructure, and we make amends where need be.
What are the safety challenges TCN is facing?
The fundamental one, I would say, is the issue of right of way, because people encroach our right of way, where they go and carry out unauthorized activities, and also the issue of vandalism. Our critical infrastructures are being vandalized day in, day out. So these are things we have to contend with. And also our occupational hazard being faced by our staff who go out to carry out maintenance, you understand, and operations.
How has TCN dealt with the challenge of right-of-way encroachment?
We try to mitigate the challenges by working hand in hand with law enforcement agents, you understand, and also we give our staff the training and the requisite PPE to make sure that they attend to that. We have adopted a multi-pronged approach. The approach includes regular engagement of communities and community leaders, traditional rulers, and other stakeholders, as well as the security agents to come in and assist to stop the encroachment. And we also enlighten them, that is the community, as well as the staff, as to how to carry out their jobs safely and discourage people from encroaching. And also we try to win people to our side, that is the locals, let them be advocates in this regard.
Are there health implications of staying right on the power transmission lines?
Scientifically, if somebody stays within the regulatory limit, the exposure to electromagnetic fields does not really affect someone, but we still discourage people from walking under our within our right of way to avoid accidents due to infrastructure failure, line snapping, and the rest, which may even lead to electrocution.
The excavation of sand around power transmission towers has been a major concern. How is TCN tackling this?
What we really do is we conduct sensitization to educate people on the implication of carrying out such excavations and how it would affect our infrastructure. And again, the law enforcement agents are also involved, and we carry out regular patrol so that the moment anyone starts excavating within our right of way, we try to address that.
What is your message to Nigerians about safety around power transmission installations?
So my message is that this is a collective responsibility. We are all stakeholders as far as this is concerned. So we urge people to support TCN when it comes to addressing the issue of interfering with any of our infrastructure. We urge Nigerians to avoid activities within the right-of-way, such as farming, building, and excavating sand. It shouldn't be within our right-of-way. And then we also require them to report any suspicious activity, any vandalism or hazards to TCN, as well as to the law enforcement agents around. And also we employ them to educate one another, on the dangers of unauthorized access to high voltage installations. Together, we can ensure a safe and reliable power transmission network for all.
TCN faces continuous challenges of people vandalizing power transmission infrastructure and even living under them. The central message from the General Manager, Health, Safety and Environment, Engineer Ahmed Rufai Ibrahim, is that we must at all time avoid these acts and help to report suspicious activities near power transmission infrastructure to TCN and security operatives. TCN transmission assets are national assets, and so we have shared responsibility to keep them safe. Here is a highlight of the reports we brought to you in this edition. There was a report on the press briefing by the Minister of Power, Chief Adebayo Adelabu, about the federal government of Nigeria's commitment to improving power sector indices. In this edition, we highlighted the completed power transformer projects across transmission substations in 2024. You heard that vandalism of transmission assets surges as over 18 towers have been affected so far this year. In the interview segment, the General Manager, Health, Safety and Environment, Engineer Ahmed Rufai Ibrahim, had a discussion about how his team promotes health and safety practices for its staff members and all stakeholders while leading campaigns against vandalism and encroachment of the right-of-way of power transmission assets nationwide. You can always get more from the power circuit, as TCN has made all editions available on the TCN YouTube channel. Kindly connect with TCN on all its social media platforms by liking the TCN page on Facebook via Transmission Company of Nigeria. You can also follow TCN on X, formerly Twitter, by searching for @TCN_Nigeria. Experience TCN and its activities on Instagram as you click TCN_Nigeria. TCN officials are always there to receive your observations and comments by email to affairs.public@tcn.org.ng. For more information about the company's activities, go to the interactive website www.tcn.org.ng. There is also an information site www.tcnnews.ng where TCN keeps you updated about power sector activities. Please continue to do your best in guarding against vandalism of power transmission lines, towers and substations in your locality. I am Amara Agogesi. Thank you for staying with us.